There was never a Palestinian state. Unfortunately, over the last few years, this whole narrative spread because of ignorance and a lot of propaganda that there was at some point a Palestinian state and that the Jewish Zionists came in and took over this state and kicked out the natives. None of that ever happened. The land in question was thousands of years ago called the Land of Israel and continuously since then. When the Romans took it over, they managed it as the province of Judea. In the 2nd century, due to a Jewish revolt, they renamed it into Syria Palestina to suppress Jewish identity. The Eastern Roman Empire maintained it as Palestina. With Roman Christian culture taking over the West, it was introduced into the West as the region Palestina or Palestine. The Muslim invaders and conquerors and the empires, however, changed the name over the years and referred to it by different names. Only Great Britain, when they took over the region from the Ottoman Empire at the end of the First World War, temporarily referred to it as Mandatory Palestine. To them, this was supposed to be a temporary state, which was to be turned into a homeland originally thought to be for the Jews. Under the British Mandate, the Jews of the region referred to themselves as Palestinians, and the world referred to those people as Palestinians. At this time, the Palestine Post, or the Palestine National Football Team, or the Palestine Symphony Orchestra were formed. All of those were Jewish. In fact, the Palestine Symphony Orchestra turned into the Israel Philharmonic Orchestra. To the Zionists, however, the term Palestine was a foreign name because in their own culture, in their own language, and also in biblical terms, the land was known as Land of Israel for so long. So as soon as they had the chance to establish their own independent state, which was guaranteed by the United Nations, they named it Israel, which was also, by the way, an official name acknowledged under British Mandatory Palestine, which was also called Eretz Israel, Land of Israel. Arab leaders never really acknowledged the whole Palestinian identity until the 60s, and eventually until the 80s when it was firmly established that the Arabs wanted to go for a Palestinian national identity, for which they have been fighting ever since, which is why Israel, the original modern state of Israel, was established or re-established in 1948, while the modern nation-state of Palestine was only ever declared in 1988. Before that, there was never a state called Palestine led by Arabs or by Palestinians, and Israel certainly did not destroy or replace one. In fact, they showed willingness to acknowledge a possible nation-state in the region by the Arabs, if they ever intend to create one. Unfortunately, they prefer to fight Israel and destroy Israel instead, which they never achieved, which is why they are fighting to this day. So history is clear, there never was a Palestine.